When the Remy's in the system. When the Remy's in the system. When the Remy's in the system. What's my name? When the Remy's in the system. Ain't no telling. Man, I'm from the city of real with snow quelling. Haters throwing dirt on my name, I can't let them. I walk around with all the guys' grace, I ain't stressing. But if I say it, then I stand on it. That #1 spot, yeah, I plan on it. I'm manifesting all of my dreams until I land on it. And my breakthroughs coming, I got my hand on it. So baby girl, keep your chin up. And I swear they wanna kill us, but nah, we winners. So have faith and keep hope. And raise your glass for living in love and make a toast.
He know where my mama stay. He know where your mama stay. You said he had a gun when you seen him. How many people in the hood play like that? I'm back. You already know what it is. Henny and Fried Crabs Podcast. I am E-Man, a.k.a. Mr. G4, a.k.a. Bishop 2 Shots. I'm about my money. I'm about my biz. You know it's me. When you hear that, there it is. Oh, man. Hey, listen. I done went back and ran into 757 Norfolk legend, ex-Maury 4-star athlete, ex-Virginia Tech athlete, ex-NFL player. My God, now entrepreneur, father, brother, husband coming. Husband coming. My guy, Vinston Painter. What's up, my guy?
What up, E? You already know, man. What's up?
Hey, man, you already know. I can't complain, man. Trying to get this shit jumping,
Yeah.
rocking and rolling. How this week been, man? Did you watch Super Bowl yesterday?
Oh, you know it.
Who was you going for initially?
Not gonna lie. So it makes sense. You had to say the Chiefs should win the game. But I had faith in the Niners just because they showed me a lot of heart in that NFC Championship game. But I mean, it only makes sense that the best quarterback got the dub. I mean, young brother under 30 years old and won 3 Super Bowls. So,
all right. So, and we'll get to it later. You played with one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
Absolutely.
Where do you rank Patrick Mahomes right now?
Amongst all of them?
Yeah.
I'd probably say, Brady still got to be #1 just because, you know, he got as many Super Bowls as he got. But I had to say Pat either a close second or third, bro.
Ooh, second or third already?
Because, bro, you got to think about what that man doing. He's been to an AFC Championship every year that he started.
It's cold. That's crazy.
Cold.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Every year that he started.
That's crazy.
He's played in, what, 5 Super Bowls, won 3 of them?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's
So-
crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
And he's not even 30 yet.
That's
so
crazy.
let's say he plays as long as Brady did. Let's imagine what else could he do with that amount of time. We talking about another almost 10 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. He's an amazing quarterback. He stays poised. He makes great reads. He makes the plays in the biggest moments, and he never seems like he's too shaken. You even seen him play through multiple injuries and tough that stuff out.
Exactly.
So, yeah, man, I gotta put him at least top 3, top 5.
Okay, I'll take that.
Brady's still #1 though.
Brady's still #1.
Brady's still #1.
Do you think he'll catch him before it's all said and done?
Personal opinion, I think so.
Yeah, he's 28. What, 28?
28.
Just say he played 10 more years. Fuck, that's going.
And you see what he did with his contract. He made his contract. It sounded like a lot, but they structured it to where he's 10 years, but it's like it's incremental like salary, so they still have enough leeway to still pay and keep the players they need. So you can already see he already got his mind set for the future. So he's a team-minded guy. So yeah, they got the structure and the build to keep it going for a little while.
And see, you being in the NFL, you know how important it is to keep the team together, but we'll get to that later. All right, so Vince, let's just start from the beginning, man. I know you, but we wanna let the fans and the people on the outside know where you from.
Norfolk Virginia.
Norfolk Virginia.
Yes,
you already
sir.
know. What neighborhood you grew up in?
I was born in Northview.
Okay.
Me and Mom Duke started out there.
Okay.
And then we moved from there over to City Park, right across the street from Park Place.
Okay.
I spent a lot of my time with my pops over in Campostella too, so I got a heavy connection with a lot of the folks out there. That's what the majority of my dad's side of the family was.
Okay.
But yeah, man, it's been back and forth between City Park, Park Place, and then after Park Place, we moved out to Brambleton. I stayed right off of Kenny.
Okay.
Stayed over there.
Okay.
And then we moved out to Colonial Place so I could play at Maury.
Okay. So how was it growing up, man? How many siblings do you have?
I got my older sister, Sherelle, and then I got my younger brother, G, you know.
Yeah.
I do have my oldest brother, but he was in that life, so he was in and out for a little while since I was like 10. I still got a relationship with him, you know what I mean? Still love him, but you know what I mean, that was that. But yeah.
And talking before, you was talking about your mom and dad. I met your mom before, never met your dad, but your mom and dad was in your life the whole time. How was that kind of growing up? Who was actually the disciplinary? Who was the one that kind of let you kind of do whatever?
Both of them was disciplinary for real.
Okay.
To be honest, I mean, more so Mom Dukes, like moms push the books and and all that jazz, you know, being a good person and all that discipline. She still wasn't really, she wasn't playing no games. You know how that go. And my dad, he also was heavy on the discipline, but he more so was like the life coach.
Okay.
Like, he was the one that Mom Duke kind of wanted to like, stay away from this, stay away from this, stay away from this. But Pops was like, as I got older, he treated me at my age. And he was always trying to put me on game and, you know, be in my ear and be that positive force and that positive motivator in my ear. He was always probably the main one, you know, when I told him my dreams or whatnot, he was like, yeah, go for that. Like, yeah, if anybody believe in you, I believe in you.
Okay.
So he was that.
So listening to that and knowing what your dreams was, because I knew you as like a multi-sport athlete. When did you actually get into sports per se?
So I probably say my first sport that I played was softball.
Okay.
Played that in elementary school, probably like second grade, third grade, somewhere around there. Got into that. And then, well, really, I mean, obviously started street ball, started off basketball, but official team was softball.
Okay.
Started with that. And then I tried football, rec league, but I had to play with the older kids, so Mom Dukes wasn't going for it.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. If you playing rec league, I mean, I know you was big. Like,
Bruh.
so, and that's what I want to say. When did you just be bigger than everybody? Was that like from day one, you was just bigger than everybody?
Basically, yeah, since
For
like
real?
kindergarten.
God
Yeah,
damn.
from like all my school pictures, I'm like one of the biggest kids in all the pictures.
Come on, man.
I'm dead ass, bro. so serious.
So figuring you couldn't really play rec league because it was weighted, so you had to place for the older kids. So when did you kind of get back into football when she was like, all right, shit, I'm gonna let you play with the older kids? Now, did y'all have middle school football?
Nah.
Oh, wow.
Remember that came in when me came when all of us was in the league.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when was the first time you started playing football? In high school?
I started playing football when y'all seen me.
Are
y'all
you
met me
serious?
Freshman year of high school, bro, yeah.
Wow.
That's why I was so ass.
So all right, so getting back to growing up, so you was just playing like basketball and softball in the hood,
Yep.
but did you look at football and shit, or?
So the way that worked out, my first love was basketball. So I did the softball, I did AAU for a little bit. I tried out for Boo Williams for a minute. My pops got me into that.
Okay.
Tried them out, and then the traveling thing was an issue with Mom Dukes. You know, she was heavy on the school. You know, y'all had some issues with her, but that before the school stuff. So and then did wrestling. I did. You might laugh. I did wrestling, volleyball, basketball, and that's it in middle school. And then I started playing football going into high school. But what got me into football was my god brother, Greg. He played at Indian River.
Okay.
He's 2 years older than me.
Okay.
So he was playing whatever. I went to his games, and he just seen me, and knew I was athletic or whatever, knew I was big, and he was like, "Man, you need to go ahead and like, get out there and get on that grass. Like, you can really do some damage. I know you want to play like basketball, but your trajectory, you ain't looking like you about to be on 6'7", 6'8".
Exactly.
He said, you a bigger dude. He said, you should do some damage on the football field. So he was like, he taught me in trying to not play defense. He was like D-end, D-tackle, linebacker. But when I got out there, Coach Scott was like O-line, D-line.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for him, he got in my ear and got me into playing football. My mom was against it, and my dad fought for it. And my mom and my grandma was like, nah, he might get hurt. Pops was like, let him be a man, go do his thing.
Yeah.
Back me up, and so did my god brother. That's how it happened.
So, did you lift weights and shit before high school? Because when I met you, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. You was like Hercules. I'm not gonna lie to you. You was built like a fucking Greek goddess when I first met you. So you wasn't lifting weights or nothing. All of that is just
Push-ups.
genetically.
Just push-ups, bro.
God
Push-ups.
damn.
My pops always told me to make sure I was doing push-ups and stuff, and he would take me out. Like, we used to go to breakfast. I'd kick it with him on the weekends. So we'll go to breakfast like Saturdays, Sundays, primarily Sundays. He'll cook on Saturdays. So, but before we go to breakfast, he'll get me up and take me to the track. and we'll go to Booker T track and run around that joint a few times. He used to hoop, so he was fast. So he used to make me go out there and run, and then just make me do push-ups. But I never touched the weight, but before that, real.
So how did you ended up finding about Maury? Because I was there like a year before Cotton got there, and we was transitioning from, it was a bad program, because I graduated in 2000, then I left, came back, played ball in college, came back. I was at Minchville when I first started. Man, they was going like 0-10, 1-9.
I remember.
Then they brought like Todd Mitchell over. He did like 2 years, got fired, and they brought Delton in. And I want to say our first year we went like a 5-5. But we was like, hold on, we returning people. We got a good staff. Shit might get ugly. So how did you get introduced to know to come to Maury?
So what happened with that was basically everybody that I knew and grew up with was going there. I went to Granby and then I went to Blair.
Okay.
And, automatic, everybody from Blair is going to Maury.
Yeah.
Then too, what happened was I was at Blair one day, walking around, and Cotton was over there. I can't remember who he was visiting, but I think he had a couple of JV guys. I think it was Bit and Travis, matter of fact, was playing JV in 8th grade.
Yep.
Yeah, so he's coming over there to see them. Then he seen me, and he was like, "Yo, like, what you doing?" So he asked me if I was thinking about going to high school. Finally, I told him I was thinking about going to Maury. And he was like, "Yeah, when you come, make sure you come see me. Like, you playing football."
Okay.
And I was like, "Well, all right, bet then." 'Cause I was thinking about it anyway.
Yeah, so all right, well, let's get into when I first met you, man. Like I said, I was like, man, who the fuck is this kid? Like, I mean, because at the time I was the offensive coordinator of JV. I want to say the year we might have went 6-1 the year before you got there, 7-1. I know my first year we lost 2 games, then we lost 1, then we lost 1, then we went undefeated. So how was that, man? Like your first year ever just playing football?
It was crazy. It was a lot. It was a huge learning curve because I know you remember I was struggling. I was struggling for a little, struggling to make a tackle. I didn't really understand the game. I didn't understand how to use my body in that aspect for football.
Yeah.
So I was just used to run around hooping, layups, baseball, all that. So I wasn't really used to trying to like use my explosion and my hips and everything to actually force somebody to the ground. I could throw a hand.
And that's what we used to be up in the office like, man, I don't know when he gonna get it, but when he get it, it's gonna be over for people. Because you was always big, could run, athletic as hell, like on your toe. You know, most big dudes, they flat-footed and not needed.
Uncoordinated and all that.
That won't you. We was like, oh, this dude gonna get it. So I know you played JV your first year, then you moved up to varsity.
End of that season.
Cause that was Cam's senior year?
No, so Cam was 2 years ahead of me. I played with him 2 years.
Okay.
I was a freshman, he was a junior, just like when we got to Tech.
So your sophomore and junior year, you played with him. All right, so your first year of varsity, you was playing what, tackle?
Yep.
Okay.
Right tackle.
Okay, how was that?
It was an adjustment. I started to like it though. I liked, what I was learning. And it just helped me keep that. I was always competitive. So O-line wasn't my first choice, but after a while, when you start understanding the game and, you get the karate, the O-line and shit, and I just wanted to win. So if that was my way to get on the grass, shit, I loved it.
Hell yeah. And even as a program, we started to really make noise.
Them years.
Yeah, we started to really make noise, so people started to kind of know what we had going on. When did you realize, because I don't even know, coming up when you first started in 9th grade or even the 8th grade, did you even know about like college and shit like that? But when did you realize I might can do something with this sport right here?
No doubt. So the only thing I knew about college was I knew something about Virginia Tech and I knew about Miami. And for some odd reason I was always drawn to Miami. But I really kind of realized it that off season / summer after I left that freshman year.
Yeah.
And I left and went to Lakeland.
Okay.
And I went out there and I was and I went out there, I was working out with them and they doing these country ass workouts. And that's when I started, getting a little stronger and feeling myself. And what turned the light switch on for me was we went to ECU football camp that summer. And I went out there as a D lineman. And when I tell you E, I was tearing them boys up, like eating their lunch every day, working them. So then after that, my confidence just went through the roof. And then that's when I was looking around, looking at the program, and I saw the difference between Maury and there. And so I was like, nah, if I'm gonna do this, I need to go home and do this back and
Okay.
forth. So yeah, that's why when I came back, I was way different, and it was rap after that.
So let's tell this story about when you transferred. So I guess your 9th grade year, you go to trial for basketball.
Yeah.
Somehow, I don't know who else was, it was other co-conspirators part of this, but anyway, I started talking to Coach Parker, like, Coach Parker, you have to cut him. Don't let him play basketball. Don't let him play basketball. So I don't know how I ended up finding out. So I guess one day I came to the school. As soon as I came through the front, maybe side or something, and then I walked. As soon as I walked in, I seen you and your moms. I said, oh, Lord, this ain't good.
You already know she show up.
Listen, and I don't even want to, because I remember everything, but one thing I do, I respect moms.
No doubt.
She loved her son. She ain't give a fuck anybody getting in the way of whatever he want to do. No. We ain't playing none of them games. But I do remember telling her, Miss Payne, I just, maybe he can play basketball and help, but this guy gonna play on Sundays. And, I don't want nothing to get in the way of that. Like, I want him to really be focused on that. So, yeah, y'all ended up transferring. It was funny. Listen, Cotton and them almost fired me for that. Yo, listen, the AD talked to me. They was like, listen, you can't, like, you got to relax.
Yeah.
And I was young and just fiery at that time. But I seen it. So, all right, let's go to your junior year. I know for sure you had a great year. You was All-State. All Tidewater your junior year too, won't you?
Yep, all Tidewater, all Eastern District.
Okay, so probably going into your senior year, that's when recruitment picked up. All right, what schools was recruiting you?
It started mildly illegally with Tech my sophomore year.
Okay.
When we went to that Usher Smith camp, and Coach Steinspring was a coach there. He saw me, we was getting off the bus, and he looked, and he said, look, technically, I never told you this. He said, but just know that when you become eligible, you got an offer from Virginia Tech. I said, oh, okay, bet. And then, so yeah, that junior year, balled. And then that's when, end of that season is when, well, really like halfway through that season kind of, is when all the letters and everything started coming in. And that was just like, I wanted to get recruited, and I didn't really like have a full understanding of how it went. And then it was just once, certain schools started coming through the mail, and then certain coaches started showing up to the school, it was kind of like,
Yeah, I remember. I mean, you probably could have just spent the globe and just said whatever school you land. I mean, Georgia,
crazy.
Tech, Virginia,
LSU was up
Penn
there.
State, LSU.
It was wild, bro. Miami.
So you just had Miami, and at that time the U was the U. Let's be clear. Florida. Which I want to get to a story about Florida later on, because I don't know how true it. We just heard about it. We wasn't there, but we the picture's still up in the office though. But we'll get to that later. So going into your senior year, when did you sign? You signed after football season or before football your senior year?
I signed after football season.
Okay, so going into your senior year, what were kind of your goals actually?
So going into senior year, I mean, I wanted to win. I wanted to win states, really. I mean, all the accolades and all the scholarships and things was cool. Like in my mind, I'm like, all right, I know I'm gonna go to school. It feels like it's like the way it's looking. So at that point, it was like I just gotta take care of business, and I wanted to win. Like we had a good enough team. We had a lot of talent, and I wanted to win states, man.
Cause at your senior year, did you have your 4 stars yet, or?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, and see, people don't understand because you're sitting down. This man is 6'6", 315, cut like an eighth of dope. When he was in high school, it won't no 315, sloppy, big belly. No, he probably had it. Did you have a 6-pack in high school? Close to it?
Not close to it. I ain't get that till college.
So, all right. So let's senior year, All-State again, all Tidewater. I mean, I can't remember
both ways. That's
why I say both ways. I was confused why you didn't kind of make the Under Armour All-American game. Was it even possible for you, or?
Dog. My mom gonna hate me for telling this story. But so the Texas jump, you think about, right? The U.S. Army one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went down there, me, Bit, Trav, and Ricky went down there for the tryout with Kai.
Okay.
Did that, and then I actually got invited to the game. Okay. I wanted to commit at the game.
Oh, wow.
But so they called, but the timing of it was kind of funny. It was like they called on like the Monday of the week of the game. Like the game was that weekend. So they called, and me and Mom was kind of like, that's kind of late for them to call and like say they want you to come for an All-Star game. Like you only got a few days of practice. We thought it was like a last minute, somebody got hurt type deal. So she was like, she ain't want to jeopardize me going out there playing and getting hurt. So she was like, I don't think you should do it. Yeah. This type deal. Okay. So yeah, she ended up, talking me out of going and accepted the invite. So I didn't go play in that game. We bumped heads a little bit about that. I mean, love my mom, but I want to compete.
For sure.
Especially on one of the biggest stages. It was like some of the best in the country. Yeah. So, I really wanted that. And but yeah, that's kind of what happened with that.
So going into after that, the recruiting trail is always like a tricky thing, even for kids now. I mean, I would only imagine you would want to be playing high school now with NIL and just the freedom of it's open season.
It's a different game now.
I mean, you would be a $500,000 guy straight out of high school. Let's be clear. Because, you was literally getting recruited from everybody in the country. But back then, it was I don't want to say there wasn't illegal shit going on, but it was more by the book. It was only like, because it's unlimited visits now. You could take as many fucking official visits as you want now.
We limited to 5 when I was getting recruited.
And that's what I'm saying.
That's crazy.
I think 5 is enough, but it's people that go on 10, 12. Fuck it, if they want to pay for you to go there, all of that. So when it came time to pick your 5, did you go on all 5 of your visits?
I went on 3. Yeah, I went on 3.
Where?
I went to Tech, I went to Miami, and I went to Florida.
Okay, so which one did you go first, second, and third?
Florida was first. I went to Tech twice. I took an unofficial and an official to Tech. Unofficial to Florida, I took my official visit to Miami. So it was Tech first, Florida, Miami, Tech again. Okay,
so Florida, this is just a documentary just dropped on these times from like 2009, 2010, where Urban Meyers, Tebow, Percy Harvin, Spikes, the Pouncey twins. You're getting recruited by them.
Take a guess. Watch this. Take a guess at who was my host.
Probably wasn't Percy, but it had to be Tebow.
Aaron Hernandez.
Are you serious?
Dead serious. Aaron Hernandez was showing me around campus on my recruiting trip, bro.
So what was your thoughts on him, like, first time meeting him?
He was mad cool.
For real?
Bruh, cool as hell. Like,
Aaron Hernandez was your... Yikes.
I met Calais Campbell on my visit to Miami.
Okay. Yeah. So Aaron Hernandez taking you around. Did you go out while you was there? Because I heard they ran Gainesville.
Yeah, we went out.
Okay, so we ain't gonna talk about that.
It was a good time.
I heard literally Urban Meyers let you hold the trophy.
Hold the trophy and put the ring on, bro. I got the picture of my mama's house.
Rumors was it Tebow was texting your phone and Percy and them. Everybody was really like, look, we gotta have you. What were they recruiting you as, offense or defense?
Offense.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how was that like, just getting texts from Tebow? I mean, because he was big at the time.
He was major. I mean, it was cool. They were just kind of like, saying what's up, just showing face. Like, we love you to be a part of the team, this, that, and the third. It wasn't nothing too crazy. It was dope, But I had already talked to all the guys in person, so it was kind of like just them reaching out saying what's up. But I mean, they were all cool dudes, man, all laid back. Percy was Percy. He was mad. He was still cool. They all showed love. Just like being around the guys. Just being around the team, it was all love. I did love the way that they competed at practice, though.
For real?
Man.
Okay.
They was getting after it out there, bro.
So I read that, it really was a 2-team race, Virginia Tech and Miami.
At the end of it, yep.
I think it was on 24/7 Sports that it was Miami and Tech. Why did you ex Florida out of that?
So it was more so just like knowing now, knowing what I know about myself now, I wasn't sure how I would handle the being that far away from home. I was super close to my family, both sides, mom, dudes, pop, my cousins, my brothers, sisters, all that. So, I wasn't sure how I would, do with that. And Mom Dukes wanted me to be close so she can come to the games. We ain't had a whole lot of bread and all that. So she had like stuff to be buying plane ticket stuff. Knowing what I know now about the SEC.
You could have asked for it. You should have
been
like, hey, look, my mom need to move down here.
You know what I'm saying? We'd have been cool. But my dad and my godbrother were both was like, yo, my dad worked for the shipyard. She was like, I can get a job down there. It's on the coast. I know they got a base. Yeah. And then my older brother was like, he had to transfer and go to school down there if I wanted to go there.
Okay.
So I still would have had family with me, but it was just, I mean, I didn't know as much about football. I followed basketball my whole life. I can tell you anything about basketball, Jordan, Kobe, Shaq, all of them. I didn't follow football as heavy. I watched NFL, but not college as much.
Okay.
So I didn't know that the SEC was what it was. You know what I'm saying? Had I known that then, easy. Florida, Georgia, LSU, and then LSU was telling me that, I don't know if I ever asked EJ about this. I think we might have had a conversation about it at one of the combines or something. LSU was saying that if I committed there, EJ was gonna go there. EJ Manuel.
Yeah.
So I was like,
wow.
Maybe, but yeah, he wanted me bad. I mean, I would have definitely treated it a lot different knowing now, if I knew now. Knew back then what I know now about the SEC and college and all that. But I mean, Tech was just, what sold me on Tech was the recruiting class they was putting together. Because you remember it was me, Marcus Davis, they got Ryan Williams, my cousin that played Ocean Lakes, Randall Dunn, Jared Boykin, Xavier Boyce.
Yeah, Cam was already there.
And then they still had Tyrod was there. Yep. And then we still had that all-line that was there, Sergio and all them boys. And we still had Macho, and we still had Rock and all them guys, Jason Ware. They had some dogs up there.
Yeah.
And what sold me was I took my visit to Miami. They played UVA, lost. And then I took my visit to Tech. They just had me playing Miami. Miami lost. So I'm like, well, if they, you know what I'm saying, they the ones dominating and winning.
That's where I need to be.
That's where I need to be. I want to go to winning that. You know, that's back then when Tech was on that bowl streak. They was ranking top 10 in the country almost every year, going to a bowl every year. So it was like, I want to be where we're going to win at. And then looking at the guy, I knew all the guys that they were bringing in from Virginia and everywhere else. I'm like, looking at this class and what they got now, we should win something. So
going into Tech, 2008, 2009 season, I guess, initially they were recruiting you to play, they wanted you to play D tackle, or that's what you was recruited to play tackle and then you just switched sides?
Dog. Another crazy story. So they recruited me as a left tackle. They wanted me to play left tackle.
Okay.
What happened with that was I got to Tech that summer, you know, we doing summer workouts, the freshman stuff. And I was walking down the hallway one day and Bud was coming up, Bud Foster. So we walked, I was like, man, what's up, coach? He's like, yeah, what's up, Peyton? How you doing, man? Da, 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 da. And then we got to talking. He said, yeah, I was looking at your track record and it says, you know, you played a little bit of defense too. And I said, yeah, coach, I played, you know, D tackle. You know, I love that side of the ball. Like, that's where I play O-line. I'm good at it. I was like, I really love defense. Yeah. And he was like, oh, you can see it in his eyes. He's like, oh, like, is that right? I'm like, yeah. I was like, yeah, coach, like, I really rock with it. And he was like, all right, cool, man. You know, I go to class, you know, have a good day, do that, this, that, and third. Next day in the weight room, been there working out. He come in there. The coaches used to come in there sometimes to work out too. So he came in there and popped in. He's like, looked over, seen me. He's like, hey, yo, Painter. I was like, what's up, coach? He's like, yeah, we gonna make that move. And I said, oh, all right, cool. And they moved me over to defense, tried me out of defense. So I ended up playing defense that training camp and all that year. And then, but like I said, I was still raw, still learning ball at that time. So I didn't really fully understand the schemes and how all that worked. And my film study habit wasn't all that great. Okay. You know, my study habits wasn't all that great in school. So, you know, it kind of is what it is. I took some of that Norfolk stuff with me, man.
And you redshirted your first year, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Okay. I did. Redshirted and then played that season out as defense. And then we got to the Orange Bowl that year. And that week before we left is when they moved me back to offense. They moved back to offense at right tackle.
How's playing in them bowl games, man? Because, I mean, I know now that a lot of players is getting towards the NFL. They don't even fucking play in bowl games if it's not the national championship.
Which
but
is
I
crazy
heard,
to me.
It's a great time there. But I also hear a lot of kids don't take it as serious because shit, you get some money, you get a bag full of shit, and you just down there. How was that playing in your first Orange Bowl?
That's fair. I mean, you gotta imagine, bro, like coming from Norfolk, I hadn't really been nowhere, like a couple family stuff, Carolina here and there, but the bowl game, you down there for a whole week. At the Orange Bowl, you in Miami. I'd already been in Miami on my visit, but I hadn't been in Miami at that level where it's kind of like, okay, you do the work and now you got free time to go do whatever you want to in Miami, you know what I'm saying? So it was crazy, bro. It was everything that you heard. Like you get a gang of like jumpsuits and you get like bowl gifts and all that. They got like, you know, food everywhere. You got work, you got practice and stuff, all that. Obviously, you still got meetings, still got to do the work. But they had like little like stuff set up where you can go out and, you know, they got team mountains like jet skis and stuff on the beach. And then, you could go out, they give you the per diem, so you know everybody was in the club.
Hell
21
yeah.
or whatever. Like,
Hell yeah.
Beamer, that was my first time. Beamer took the whole team to Fogo de Chao, the Brazilian steakhouse jump, so that was fire. It was a good time, man. And then we ended up winning the game too, actually. So that year I got a ACC championship ring.
Okay.
We played that in Charlotte. But I wasn't traveling, so I didn't go to that. I redshirted, and then we had the bowl game. We won the Orange Bowl against Cincinnati. But it was crazy, man. And then that was just kind of, you know, it just kept feeding the beast and make you want to play more. But it was a great experience, man.
And I mean, I knew you were strong going into Tech. They say like you're the strongest football player to kind of walk in Blacksburg. They say like you bench like 500. When I seen the front squat shit, I was like, hold on, this man front squat at 400.
475.
Sitting down with 500 is, bro, you 6'6". You front squat at 4.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I ain't gonna say I was the strongest. There was some strong dudes come through Tech, but I was one of for sure.
Okay, how much did you power clean?
My best power clean was like 355, 365, something like that, somewhere around there. And then all right, so you're there, you're one of the strongest there. So you redshirted your freshman year. You coming in your first. What was the first year where you actually started? Man, bro, that journey at Tech was a huge test of my will, because you know they brought me in, you know, saying I was gonna play this, that, and the third. And granted, there was some things I still needed to learn. I should have, you know, created some better film study habits, this, that, and the third. So I can't say it's all of them. You know, some things I should have done different too. But I didn't play until my redshirt junior year.
Okay.
So I was just basically practice squad in college up until then. And then even then I was playing on special teams just because by that time I was running a 4.940. So they was like, well, I had the speed. So Beamer just started using me on special teams that year. I really didn't start, bro, until my last year, my redshirt senior year is when I started the full season. So
what kicked in that made you just say, all right, man, like, I mean, because we all know that if you getting recruited by Florida, Miami, the ability is there.
No doubt.
And which I tell a lot of kids, y'all got to understand when you leave high school and you head to big programs.
Everybody's good.
Everybody there is 4 or 5 star. And we talking a year era where Tech was it. Everybody there is good. So how you prepare, how you practice, how you take care of your body. I mean, how much you compete, you know what I'm saying, is big. So was that a big issue when you first got there? You just thought, oh, I'm going to go in here and just eat this shit up.
Exactly. You know, that's how we think coming from where we come from. But it's like, I'm a dog, so I'm going to do my thing and I'm going to get out there and they're going to see it, which was wrong. There's a lot more at playing too. You actually had to start learning the game. There's a lot more ins and outs to offensive line than what, you know, I thought it was. At first, to me, it was just, you know, football just hit somebody harder than they're going to hit you. You know what I'm saying? Learn to play. I'm going to do this on this play and keep it pushing. But, you know, when you get to that level, it's halfway to the pros. So it's a lot of different intricacies. So you got, you know, you got to learn blitzes. You got to learn different defensive looks. You got to learn different lineups. You got to learn adjustments on the offense, this, that, and third. What to do if they bring this blitz off the edge in the middle of the play and you got this certain assignment. So, like, I know I struggled a lot at first with reading defenses and picking up on those keys and reading blitzes and stuff. So that's kind of what helped me back, which is why I said if I had created those better film study habits, I would have probably played faster. Yeah. But so that was probably a big learning curve for me. And then it finally went off my last year because I had my daughter, my red shirt junior year. Okay. So you know, that kind of just like anybody, it sparked a flame in you. It's like, yo, I gotta get this shit. I gotta make it happen. Like, cut all the other BS off. Like, it's do or die at this point. I got one shot to do it, and I knew I could play. So when that senior year came around, another funny story, how I ended up playing so well, and I didn't get to some Tech. My offensive line coach, he was cool. I knew Newsom was cool. He's a good coach. Yeah. But he wasn't a lineman, and you know, we could communicate. We had a good relationship, but it wasn't exactly what I was used to. You know, I was used to y'all, Stone, and like how y'all were, like keeping it a buck. Yeah. So what ended up happening was, my senior year, probably shouldn't tell this story, but I'm years removed now, so I doubt it'll do anything. I ended up going, me and one of my teammates got connected and got plugged into the place I ended up training while I was in the league, O-line performance. So going into that last summer, my last year, my redshirt senior year, I'd already graduated. So I had my degree. I had nothing to do in summer school. So we got tapped into that, and we went out to Ohio and went to that place for the first half of summer break.
Okay.
Because it was optional the first half. So we went out there and trained there, and that 4 weeks with LaCharles was the best coaching for offensive line wise that I received out of the 4.5 years I've been at Tech. I learned more in that 4 weeks than I learned in 3 years I was at Tech. 100%. He's a former offensive lineman, all pro bowl, like one of the nastiest dudes I've ever seen play that position.
Did he see you and be like, yo, I need, or did somebody just know, like, listen, Vince need this, he needs somebody to really shape his shit?
That's exactly what it was. So it was one of our coaches that we was cool with, me and my teammate Nick Beckton. He was like, yo, he hit up his agent who was connected to Charles. Was like, yo, I got these 2 guys. They really just need a chance and somebody it's there. They need somebody to teach them how to do this shit for real. And so, they hooked us up, got us together, sent us on our way. I ain't gonna tell the whole story because I ain't trying to get anybody in no trouble. Yeah. But, they got us together and we went up there and we went up there for 4 weeks initially and loved it. So he kicking our ass.
Was he amazed how gifted you was though? Like how talented, strong, can move?
So to this day, he always say, I still talk to him right now and I need to call him, matter of fact. Okay. But to this day, he said, there's only ever been one person to walk into my gym and completely smash the workout. And he says, that motherfucker right there. And he pointed to me. And I was like, that's just how it was. Like, y'all, you gotta imagine, bro, coming from y'all, we doing 100 up downs out the gate in practice. During that lock-in 2 days, bro. So I'm used to just grinding and going hard 24/7. So yeah, that's just how my mentality was, and it carried over all the way through college.
And so who was your coach at the time? What's his full name?
What, at Tech?
No. At that place. What was the coach?
That was LaCharles Bentley.
Okay.
Yeah, that was LaCharles, and I trained with him my entire time through the league.
So did he give you the confidence to say, hey, man, you can fucking play in the league now. You need to stop fucking playing.
Absolutely. Because we came up there and we brought our film with us and he watched it. He gave us tips, told back then what he needed to do, and then he turned on my film and going. He said, you can work on this, you can work on that. And then he got to the clips of me from that current spring. And he got to the clips of me just like going hard and like, because I would come off the ball, get my first guy out of the way, and I'm going next level. And he was like, and I bodying the linebacker and shit and still going. And he was like, all that other stuff, like you could work on. And he was like, but this shit right here, you can't teach. Okay. He said, that's what your niche is. Stick with that and everything else you just build on. Okay. So he definitely saw it and he worked with me. He was a great bug in my ear, a huge part of why I lasted as long as I did in the league. Oh, wow. He's a great offensive mind, a great teacher, and a great mentor and friend. He's like a big brother almost, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So
that's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. So going into your senior year, you playing now, like you saying, you starting. Yeah. Because it's redshirt junior, so that's really like your senior year. You've already graduated. What's your degree in?
Got my degree in residential property management.
I don't know what the hell that is. But
it's basically real estate.
Oh, real estate. Okay, okay.
Because I started off in business management because I always knew in my mind I wanted to go to the league to do the entrepreneur thing, start some businesses and stuff.
So going into your senior year, you ready? You got some training, you have a good year. When did you start hearing rumbles that you could get drafted?
Not until after the combine.
Okay, so you got invited to the combine without even people saying you being on the map. So
like literally when I reported to LaCharles, after that last bowl game we played Rutgers in Orlando, spent that last night with my family, packed up Tech, left, went to AZ. Yeah, he broke down, he was like, back then they got you going wherever, I forgot what he said. And he said, Paint, they literally have a question mark by you, like they don't know who you are. Like they know you balled, I only gave up 1 sack, so it drew interest. Yeah. And I played against some good guys that year. I played against Tank Carradine and Bjorn Warner at Florida State. Vic Beasley was still at Clemson, along with Malachi Goodman, and a couple other guys that year that played in the league. I think Atachu from Georgia Tech played in the league too. But yeah, literally coming out, he was like, bro, they really don't know who you are, so you really got to bust your ass and like really make a name for yourself. And I trained, and then we left. Where was I at? We was training. I can't remember if it was before I went there or like while I was there, but I remember I got the invite to the combine. I was sitting in my dad's house. I was sitting in my dad's crib, and I was just messing around on my phone. And then it came through on my email.
Okay.
And I seen I got invited to the combine. Bro, I sat on my pop steps and started crying, bro. Like, no bullshit. My big ass, like, it wasn't like no ugly ass crocodile tears, but it was just like those, like, glory tears. Like, man, that's what I'm talking about.
And that's what I'm saying, as a young kid, like, that's the dream of everybody. Just give me a fucking opportunity. And me knowing who you are, the combine, because I know you gonna run fast. I think you ran, what, 4.8?
Yep, 4.87.
4.87. They say at Tech you ran like 4.74 at one point. On one website you ran, people, y'all have to understand, this guy is 300 pounds running 4.8 and 4.7. That shit is crazy. So you got to the combine, you did your thing, 40. How many times you do 225?
I did 225 33 times.
God damn.
I was top 5 in almost every category.
In every category?
Almost,
Top
yeah.
5?
Almost, yeah.
Gosh almighty.
Except for the cone, except for the L drill, whatever that shit called.
So that means people are starting to be like, all right, let's see who this guy are. So now, what I've been researching about the combine, then you start going to like individual workouts. So how many individual workouts did you start, and what teams did you start working out for?
So after the combine, we went back to Tech. We did pro day. I didn't do all the retesting. I just did drills.
Okay.
'Cause I was like, my combine is gonna keep that what it is.
For sure.
And then after that, I did a private workout with me and Beckton. Did private workouts with the Jaguars. We did private workouts with the Bengals. And then after that, I had some visits. I took a visit with because it's almost like college a little bit.
Yeah.
You still go visit facility teams that's really interested. Think about drafting, they bring you in and give you a tour of the facility, and you meet the coaches, and they bring you through some.
I heard they be doing like wild ass questions in them interviews.
That's at the combine.
Oh, for real?
That's
was they asking you wild shit at the combine?
I mean, I didn't really get into too much craziness, you know what I mean? And then what people don't know is that the league is heavily tied like to the government. They can get any ounce of information on you that they want. Literally, like that piece of notebook paper you got right there, bro, like literally when you sit down at the table with these coaches, they got a notepad right there with your name at the top. And every ounce of information on you from the time you're born to you sit in that seat.
Come on, man.
I lie to you not, bro.
So literally, if they take a chance on somebody that's been getting in trouble and shit,
they already know.
When
they ask you these questions in these interviews, they already know, but they want to see what you're going to say. They want to see if you're going to like try to lie or finesse your way out of it. It's a test. Everything at the combine is a test.
Okay.
And so did that, did pro day, did the workouts. My visits I had with them was Tampa Bay. I took a visit to Detroit. And I took a visit to Denver.
Okay.
All great visits. I low-key kind of wanted to go to Tampa Bay. I ain't gonna lie, I want to live in Florida.
Yeah. And ain't no fucking state tax down there.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It was, it was give and take. But all of them was cool visits. Detroit was, surprised me because the GM was black. I was like, oh man, like this is dope. He was the only one.
Okay.
Like, that was dope. I met Ozzie Newsome too. There was him with the Ravens. I met him one time out with my team Chaplin in Baltimore during my internship, matter of fact. And but that was dope. And then Denver was Elway and those guys, but they were just super cool. They showed a lot of love.
Okay.
But yeah, those were my 3 visits, and my agent had me going as high as, he said, they had me going as high as the 3rd round, but I think I kind of messed that up a little bit because he told me initially as prep, going into it, he was like, okay, boom, you could tell them, he said, don't tell them about your other visits.
Okay.
Basically, but he didn't say, you can say you have visits, just don't tell them who.
Okay.
He said, don't tell them about your other visits. So I'm going to each visit like, oh, well, you got any other visits or whatever? So I'm like, nah. And then, if you're trying to buy something, you don't want to buy nothing nobody else won't. You know what I'm saying? So if he had put it to me,
make sure that everybody else wants you too. Okay.
Exactly. So if he worded it and told it a little different, I ended up going 6th round, but I feel like that probably played a little part. I'm telling teams, ain't nobody really think about it. So it's making them think, oh, we the only ones brought him in. We can take him whenever. Okay. So that might have something to do with me going a little bit later, but it's all good still.
And that's crazy just to hear that the draft is a little bit more than just play. Little bit more than just what they see at the combine. It's tricks and politics and strategy and all of this shit to get there.
Yeah, bro. When they bring you into that combine, bro, the first day As soon as you touch down, you're going to the hospital getting tested on for like 3-4 hours at the hospital. And then they got you running interviews all night that night. They wake you up the next day at 3-4 o'clock in the morning for a piss test. And then had you running around doing medical tests all week. Like, bro, it's crazy, bro. One of the vets, while I was training, put it to me the best way, and he hit it dead on. He says the best experience you never want to do again.
Yeah. So how was your relationship with Cam? Because Cam was in the league at the time, wasn't he?
Yeah. Cam was in a while before. He was in there for like 2 or 3 years before I got there because I had an extra year of college. Yeah.
So was he giving you any kind of like cues to say, yo, do this, do that, and not do this, and not do that?
So as far as me and Cam relationship, I say like I reached out to him a couple times. My first year, it kind of was just like every now and then on social media between him and Tyrod.
Yeah.
I really kind of started like talking to him and picking his brain that following off season when I seen him. I used to go and train with Kev a little bit too. So I would see him there.
Okay.
And then, pick his brain a little bit there. And then I talked to him at the Super Bowl. And then I asked him a couple of questions while I was in Cleveland once I left Denver because I was really like in the mindset of trying to play. So I just picked his brain like, bro, what do it take to get to the level that you at? You know what I'm saying? And he put me on some game or whatnot, and we still kept in touch throughout the years every now and then. And so I checked on him after he got hurt and all that jazz.
Let's take it back a little bit. Draft day. All right, so you figuring, did you even look at the first round just kind of knowing, man, I ain't going to go to about third round, so I'm going to kind of, did you have like a draft party?
I still watched the first day. I didn't have it on the first day because like I said, my agent said I was supposed to go in third round. So the second day, I did like a little like small get together at my pop's house. Just family and friends that I rocked with all came through. We had food and all that stuff, but yeah, it got a little embarrassing towards the end.
That's what I was about to say. How was it sitting through those rounds thinking, I may can go third, then fourth come, then fifth come, and you like, shit, what the fuck?
Yeah, that second day. After the second day we did that, I didn't invite nobody back over there for, I think my god brother came back, my little brother came back over, Stone came back over, and I think Travis Branch came back over. My mom was there, obviously, Pops was there, my sister. But it was like a lot smaller. I ain't do nothing.
Yeah, because I was at Cam's draft party, and I kind of remember how I got kind of tense. The room was just tense. Like
that you giving off that energy, man. Like you don't even really like after a while. I didn't really see or feel anybody in the room, man. It was just kind of like mild anger.
Was your agent calling you? Was teams kind of? Was he calling you at this time like, hey, just stay patient?
Basically.
Okay. Yeah. So when you finally heard your name, because listen, I don't care what nobody say. Everybody pick up a ball. The NFL getting drafted is a fucking dream.
No doubt.
So I don't care if it's first, seventh. To me, even if you get a free agent call, I mean, to put on a jersey. So how was it when you heard your name?
It was amazing, man. I actually thought I was about to be a Pittsburgh Steeler because when the 6th round first kicked off, they called me and was like, hey, man, if you still there when we come up this round, we taking you.
Okay.
I was like, oh, all right, bet, cool. Pittsburgh it is. I told my older brother, my god brother, and he was hyped because he a Steelers fan. But then the Broncos picked right before the Steelers.
Oh, wow.
And then my phone rang, and it was, I want to say it was John Fox. That called me.
Wow, the head coach at the time.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was amazing, man. It was, and once I got a little emotional, but then like once my family realized, my dad came around the corner and everybody was like, oh, shoot, what this, that, and the third. And then it was like, yo, what's about to happen? And I was like, I think so. And then it went across the screen.
Gosh almighty.
And everybody in the house was hyped, man. My dad was crying, mom was crying, my sister was crying. It was dope, man.
I could only imagine just your parents feeling like all the sacrifice, just all the discipline, all the feeding into your brain. Hey, you can do it, son. Hey, you got to get them grades. I know that was just a great feeling for them.
It was amazing, man.
Everybody in the room.
Really, shit. It was really everybody on the block because my pops still lived on Manson out in Campostella.
Okay.
So, when everybody got out in the yard, started crying and stuff, went next door to my aunt, and then, all my cousins and everybody, then just people that I grew up with out the way, was caught wind just walking down the street. And it's like, oh, yeah, from Manson to Millions, blah, blah.
Yes,
it was hype, it was love, man. But, yeah, it was an amazing moment, man.
So how long was you home before you had to report to Denver? Because, yeah, you got drafted 6th round.
Yep.
It was, I got it here, get it, 6th round. What pick was it?
It was like the
173, okay.
Yep, it was a couple
round
picks in
6,
the 6th
173,
round. Yep.
okay. So when did you have to report to Denver?
We had to report for rookie mini camp. Well, actually, yeah, basically rookie mini camp. The draft was in April. We had to report in May.
Was Peyton was already there at the time, or Peyton?
Yep.
Okay.
They had already played and lost to the Ravens the year before, I think. Yep.
Okay. So going in rookie camp, how was that?
It was weird, man. I mean, it was crazy. It's kind of like it feel like you walking in a dream, like the whole way to the airport and flying there and getting off and the ride to the facility. It's just like in your brain, you like, yo, is this really happening right now? Like, am I really in this moment? And then you get in there, and once you start strapping up and lift the weights, you start getting into the mode of, all right, now it's work time.
I'm in a fucking league.
Yeah, I'm in the league, like it's time to get to work.
One thing that I had, I've been watching football my whole life, but you watch it on TV, and then I go to my first college game, and I'm like, damn, this shit a little faster. These dudes a little bigger.
Yeah.
Then my first NFL game, it was a bigger separation. Like, fuck, everybody big, and I mean the speed was
it's ridiculous,
unbelievable, man. I was like, come on, man. Like they close in fast, holes open and close real fast, everything. So how was getting adjusted to NFL play?
It was tough, I'm not gonna lie. Like that rookie mini camp, you're going against other rookies, so it still feels like college.
Okay.
But once you finish that, and then the vets come in, then it's kind of like, oh, it's about to get real. You only lift the weights for a little while, then you go through, or you got like the little in-between time before you start practicing, you get the actual practice in OTAs. So yeah, bro, my first couple reps was against Von Miller.
That's what I was about to say.
So it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, what better way to get welcome to the NFL?
Did he beat you the first?
Yes.
For real?
Bro.
Was he talking shit?
Von don't talk a lot of shit.
For real?
Nah. Unless you talk shit to him, like, sometimes when once he get cool with you, he start like messing with you a little bit. But like, if you start talking shit to him, he gonna talk shit back. But
damn.
He wasn't a huge talker.
So your first OTAs, you going against Von Miller as a fucking rookie.
Bro, Von Miller, Derek Wolfe, I forgot his name. He had fucking Kevin Vickerson. We had Big Pot Roast out there. Bro, they had Danny Trevathan, the linebacker. We still had Champ out there, bro.
Okay.
Willis McGahee was still on the team when I first got there. Goddamn, Ryan Clady was still there. Yeah, bro, we had some dogs out there, bro.
So getting drafted, though, and everybody that's not in the NFL or don't get drafted think that it's $30 million. He got $30 million. How was that dealing with now? You drafted. Everybody, hey, what's up, cuz? What's up, nephew? Hey, I've been here for you since day one. How was it filtering those type of people at that level then?
I mean, for me, it was easy because in college, it was always the same faces coming to see me.
Yeah.
So, like, I show love to whoever, show love the whole time. But it was easy to pick out who the people was that was just popping up like, oh, yeah, what up, cuz? All of a sudden. It's like, my number hadn't changed all through college. Now you found it when I got drafted.
Yeah.
I mean, it's family. That's no love lost, nothing like that. But it just lets you really see the truth about some people.
Who people are.
But it was part of it. It's just become your best friend.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So your first year you're in Denver, y'all go on to run Super Bowl. How is it playing with Peyton Manning? Locker room, because you hear about the leadership and
no doubt
how much he study and his smarts and
it's all
and
true.
Then now that he's retired, I kind of see him more as like a comedian. Like him and Eli got like personality, and I'm like, damn, I ain't really see that shit. Is that who Peyton Manning was in the locker room?
1,000%.
For real?
1,000%. Like you look at him, and like he looked like for lack of better words, he looked like a regular old white dude, just tall.
Just a big tall dude.
Yeah, but like he looked like you expect like dad when he started talking, but he really was one of the homies. Like
Okay.
he really would like do jokes and like pick with people. He picked with me a lot my first year.
For real.
He messed with me. He said my rookie story was trash. That joke was funny.
Why he say that though?
Because it was trash.
For real.
It really was. I told a little BS college story and they booed me, but I didn't know what else to do, man. I wasn't.
Oh wow! So they put you up in front of the whole.
Oh, all the rookies got to do it.
And just ask about a story and
And
you just...
so it's a team meeting. We have a team meeting training camp every night after practice every night. The first team meeting for the last round of individual meetings. So we go through all our stuff, blah, blah, blah. And then Fox like, all right, rookies, let's go. We got to pick one from the position. So you got to go up there and then you like, all right, it's your name, school, signing bonus. And you either got to do a school fight song, tell a joke, sing a song, something.
God damn, you got to tell them your signing bonus.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's public information, so they know already.
Damn, yeah, you're right.
They know already. But yeah, they ask you name, school, signing bonus. Like, we didn't have a fight song. At least not one that I remember. I knew the band played that joke. We didn't have no, ooh, it was Go Tech, like Go Hokies. We didn't really have a fight song. So I did. They called me, Lord. So Vickerson and T. Knight, Terrence Knighton was his name, Pot Roast. They called me Django. Because that's when it just came out, it was popping. They was like, this little big ass, you definitely gonna be a field slave, your big ass. And they was always making jokes or whatever. And so I went with that and I bought like this nappy fro. I got to change some weight room, took my shirt off, walked in, I had them playing Django. They died laughing, the whole team meeting died laughing. I was like, I didn't know what to do after that though.
Oh, for real?
So I was just like, well, I was just trying to tell a funny little BS story about me getting caught up in college. They didn't care too much for it, they booed me. And then we was going to a team event and I was sitting on the bus. Peyton was up there at the front talking. And then he said something, and turned around and he was like, and Peyton, that was the worst rookie story I've ever heard in my life.
That's funny. To even be acknowledged though by Peyton Manning is like, I mean, that's some shit you tell your kids. Like, nah, this dude know me by name. I played with him, he know me by name. So that year y'all made a run, Super Bowl, man.
Yeah. I was mad at myself after that game. Because I went out there and I talked to Cam before the game, and I was like, "Yeah, bro, rep for the home team. Look up. We following behind you. Me and Roy. Me and Roy came in at the same time. So like, man, me and Roy behind you, bro. Like, put on for the city. We'll have a good game." I ain't expecting him to go out there and have a Hall of Fame game and try and destroy half my receiving corps.
Everybody. He was knocking everybody out.
Bruh.
that was just legendary for you playing for Denver, him playing for Seattle.
No doubt.
Same high school, like literally, we put 3 people in the league, and I mean, y'all was back to back to back to back. Like, I mean, that was. I can't really think of a Norfolk school that did it like that. So to have both of y'all playing in the Super Bowl on Super Bowl teams, I mean, once again, that's some legendary Maury shit.
It was amazing, man.
So how was the Super Bowl though, man? Is it like everybody think it is, or it's actually bigger? How was the nerves of everybody? Because you was on the practice squad at the time.
I was on practice squad that season, and then come playoffs, we had just beat the Patriots to go. I forgot who played before that. It might have been the Chiefs. I forgot who played before them. Anyways, but we got through. We played our first playoff game, and then San Fran tried to come snatch me off practice squad. So when a team tried to come snatch you off practice squad, one or two things gonna happen. You either gonna go, or the team got to bump you up at the roster. Okay. So Denver bumped me up at the roster for the AFC Championship and the Super Bowl, so nobody could come and grab me. That's how much they love me. So I was on active roster for the Patriots game, and I was on active roster for the Super Bowl. And then going into the next year, they were going to re-sign me to practice squad again, but Cleveland came this time. Okay. And
so you were saying before we started, it's like a story that kind of you kind of regret not staying in Denver. What happened?
So we go through, do the Super Bowl, all that. It's amazing, by the way. It's like a college bowl game on steroids. Yeah. Gifts and all that. Parties crazy.
Who was the halftime performance that year? You remember?
I don't know.
I can't remember either.
Remember. We was getting whooped, so I wasn't thinking about that. But go through all that, go through the offseason, woo-de-boo, and then go through training camp, finish training camp. They want to re-sign me to practice squad. Okay. I signed. Go out, practice the next day, finish. I moved out of my apartment, went to the hotel. I was planning on moving to a new space. And then I get a call from my agent saying, yo, Cleveland want to offer you at the roster spot. So I'm like, okay, cool. He said, what you want to do? I said, call Denver and let them know and see what they say. So he's like, all right, I'll call you back in a minute. Hung up, sat there for a minute, phone rang, he called me back. And he said, okay, this is what the deal is. He said, Denver wants to offer you active roster money to stay here and stay on practice squad. And which I didn't know then, but that had never really been done before. I thought it was like some regular, like they could do this anytime. It's just something they do. So I didn't really think none of it then. He was like, so you weigh your options. He said, you go to Cleveland. They gotta keep you on the active roster for 3 weeks. That automatically gets you your first vested season. And they talking about bringing you in, get you learn the playbook and play. He said, Denver, I mean, you'll be on practice squad, but you'll be making active roster money, which is triple, quadruple what you've been making otherwise.
Okay.
So he said, you're gonna make the same money. It's just a matter of you getting one step closer to playing over here, or you just gonna keep developing over here. So I was like, hindsight, knowing what I know now, like when you get drafted to a team, they're guaranteed to keep you for like 2 or 3 years.
Because they invested into you.
Exactly. It's like when you buy a car, I'm gonna drive this junk because I done put this down payment in. I'm making payments on it. I'm gonna drive it eventually, rather I really rock with it as I bought it or not. I'm gonna drive it because I put money into it. As opposed to, so the same concept, they drafted me, they invested in me, they gave me a signing bonus, this, that, and the third. They put basically a whole little program around me to develop me because they knew what I needed. Yeah. And so, when you go to another team, they didn't draft you, they didn't invest in you, they just plucked you off and somebody else. Like,
and probably just heard.
You just another guy, and once you walk into that building, so you could tell it was a whole different vibe. And thinking back on it, I was like, I know if I was at Denver, they would have played me at some point. And
so how does Cleveland even get word on you?
So the way it works is when you technically when you go to practice squad, you technically get cut for a day or like for a couple hours, and you hit what's called the wire. Your name goes out in the wire, which is just a list of players that become available, let you know what year it is, and it gets sent out to all the teams along with your film. And I balled that second preseason, like dogging cats. Played way better the second preseason than I did in the first preseason. First preseason, I gave up like 3 sacks. Second preseason, I didn't give up any.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I was playing guard and kicking ass at that. Except for my fourth game. My fourth game, I got out of my routine. I did everything I shouldn't have done before the game. And I played horrible. So that's why I ended up back on practice squad. So yeah, name hit the wire, and they get all your information, get your film, and they like my film, and that's pretty much how they.
So all right, well that's 2014. You went to Cleveland.
Yep.
What happened there?
So I got there. I'm on active roster from jump. I'm on active roster all year.
They was bad though, wasn't they? Wasn't a good team.
That year we was decent. We almost made the playoffs. We was leading the AFC North for a little bit.
Oh, for real? Okay.
Bruh, like we ended up being 7-9. Yeah, 7-9. And 7-8.
Who was the quarterback there?
Brian Hoyer. And we drafted Johnny Manziel that following out.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I was there when he got drafted.
I just seen that story on Netflix the other day.
Bro, he was cool people, but he definitely had some growing up to do. But he was he was a cool person. For real. I mean, yeah. Okay. He was a cool person.
So how long did you stay in Cleveland?
So I was there for a year, from basically September to September, and then they released me that following training camp.
You went to New York?
After that, I went to New York for 2 weeks, hated it. I knew some of the guys there, but just...
Why did you hate New York?
Bro, Coughlin was a trip.
For real?
Yeah, bro. Like, when I got there, so one of my guys I'm actually still cool with, John Jerry, he was there. I trained with John Jerry and trained with West Richburg. They both played there. Okay. And I think Flowers was there, too. So JJ was putting me on game, and he was like, yeah, bro. He seen me walk around in the bathroom. He seen me in the bathroom on my phone. He's like, bro, put your phone away. If they see you walking around outside locking with your phone, they finding you 5 bands.
God damn.
So you can't sit at breakfast and scroll on your phone like nothing, phone in the locker room, or they don't want to see it.
So when you come in the facility, you just might as well leave your phone in the car.
Basically. The other thing that tripped me up was, so they had this thing where, like, above all the doors, this is any NFL facility, over above a couple of the doors, they got clocks, digital clocks. But theirs, he set that jump 5 minutes ahead of the actual time. And he expects you to be 5 minutes early to the meeting. So if you're looking at your phone, like meeting started at 7:45, you looking at your phone.
You thinking you got 5 more minutes to go.
And the meeting starting.
God dang. Dang.
Fine. So I was like, man, it's too much opportunity to get paid. It was just kind of weird. On top of the cost of living in New York was ridiculous,
crazy.
bro. $3,000 for a 1-bedroom apartment, bro, for a month.
So how long was you in New York? Because you
2
went
weeks.
to Miami after that. Then.
I was in New York for 2 weeks.
Wow.
I was only there for 2 weeks. And my boy, one of my teammates, Hosley, J-Ron Hosley, was still there too. And actually, one of my guys from Denver, DRC, Downey Roger.
Did you just call your agent and say, look, man, I got to get out of here?
No, I just was kind of like, I ain't gonna lie, I kind of was like BSing a couple practices, like trying to get cut.
For real.
I'm not even gonna hold you, bro. Like, I was going hard, just kind of like, I'm not about to get whooped, you know what I mean? Going hard, just make sure I'm protecting myself. But I wasn't like, it wasn't maximum effort.
Okay.
Like, I wasn't really trying to
So, your next couple of stints is in Miami.
Love Miami.
Washington, Arizona. So who was in Miami? Who was the quarterback in Miami at the time?
Quarterback in Miami at the time was Ryan Tannehill.
Ryan Tannehill.
And actually, I got there after they fired Philbin, so Dan Campbell was the interim head coach.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How was that? Was he still as hype as he is
he's
now?
He's the man, bro.
For real?
He's the man. That's why I'm not surprised with what he's doing in Detroit at all.
Wow. So if he would have stayed in Miami, you think he would have turned them around too?
Possibility. I feel like it was early for him, but still kind of new to him. He was tight ends coach and got thrown in as an interim coach, so he still probably had to learn some different intricacies, which is what you see in paying off now. When he went to New Orleans under Sean Peyton for a little bit, learned a little bit, and then now he's doing his thing. But just the way that he is as a guy, you know, he played. So he's like one of the
Dallas
guys.
Cowboy, You know, I'm a Cowboy. Well, I'm no longer a Cowboy fan. I was for fucking
Gave
40
up on
years, man. I'm a Baltimore fan. I can't fuck with them no more, man. I swear, man.
That's fair. That's fair.
I mean, and you know, I lived through seeing the 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
But dog,
we all
20-something years, Vincent, just like, yo, this our year, this our year, this our year. And then we keep going 12-5. So I'm thinking we there.
Get to the playoffs and lose.
I mean, it don't matter who at quarterback. Tony Romo, Dak, I'm just like, you know, I can't fuck with him. So I'm a Lamar Jackson fan. I'm not so much of a team, but I'm a Lamar Jackson fan. I want to see him get. I like Patrick Mahomes too, but
I feel that.
Yeah, I don't fuck with the Cowboys no more.
I feel that.
So Miami, Washington, Arizona. How did you ended up in Washington and Arizona?
So I finished out that season with Miami. On practice squad, got all the way through the off season, went through training camp, did that. But the first game, I messed my neck up in preseason, and then so I couldn't play there. They kept me out of the second game. I played a little bit in the third game, and I played well enough. But I mean, they cut me. I didn't play in the first 2 games, so I kind of had a feeling that was coming. But they cut me out of the third game. Washington picked me up and threw me in the fourth game out there in preseason that year. So that was 2016. So, they picked me up, threw me in the game. Whole game, bro, I'm just asking the guard, like, what do I got? What do I got? I just flew in here 2 days before the game.
Yeah.
So I don't know none of the plays.
Wow, that's crazy.
He was getting me right. And then they kept me on practice squad. And then I was on practice squad for like maybe 2 or 3 weeks. And then they bumped me up to active roster, and I was on active roster for the rest of the time. I actually played a little bit that season, too.
Okay.
I played on Thanksgiving when we played the Cowboys. And then I played when we played against the Vikings a little bit. Got 1 pancake on Linval Joseph. It was a slide protection, so it wasn't that crazy, but I caught the ribs.
Fuck it.
I caught the ribs, though.
You got the stat. So then your last stint was what, in Arizona?
Yeah, man.
What happened? So why didn't Washington keep you? Was it?
So I think they wanted me to work in like tackle and guard during that offseason. The coach said it, but I think he kind of just wanted me just go in there and do my own thing, like go in the guard whenever, because he never put me in the guard.
Oh, wow.
So he told me beginning of the offseason, like, I want you to get some guard reps, whatever, so you can play both. And just, I only stuck at right tackle, left tackle the whole time. So I thought that was kind of odd. But then we got to the preseason. I didn't give up any sacks, no. And I was playing pretty well in the run game. And, you know, I had high grasp on the playbook. The room loved me. Trent and all those guys was teaching me a lot. So I learned a lot from Trent. Cool ass dude, by the way.
Trent Williams,
yeah. Cool ass dude. He showed mad love. And learned a lot from those guys. But then when they released me, coach was basically like, we decided to go with this younger guy they brought in just because they had him going back and forth from guard and tackle, this, that, and third, and they felt like that's just who they decided to go with. Kind of just is what it is.
But at this point, I mean, you still blessed because they say the NFL, like, what, average NFL player don't last longer than, what, 2, 3 years?
2.5, 3 years,
Yeah, 2.5, 3 years. So at this time, what, 2017?
Yes.
You've been four years in the league. So, I mean, are you figuring you got more time, or you kind of really don't know, or?
Oh nah, the more time you go, I knew for sure I had to get on the field more in order for to keep it going. That's what matters.
Because the older you get, because after like a certain amount of time, like you got to get a league minimum, all of that, pensions and all of that. So you ended up in Canada 2019?
Yeah, I was getting ready to go out there.
Up there, man.
I went out there, took my visit, visited the team, and I did the little, team trial or whatever. And then when it came time to go, man, it just wasn't in me to go. Like I thought about it. I still love the game, but it was kind of like, man, I'm trying to be in the league. If it ain't the league, then
And that's what I always thought about, like the NFL. When do y'all get to the point where y'all be like, I don't want to do this shit no more? Like,
shit, NFL wise, while you in it, you in it. You don't get tired of that.
Okay.
For real.
So you don't even, at no point, you be like, man, I don't know, this kind of a lot. Like, it's a lot of pressure.
A little bit. I mean, a little bit. You get that a little bit, but I mean, you love it though, man. Like
Yeah.
It's just, it pushes you and you doubt yourself and whatnot, but it's still something in you that's like, I'm not gonna quit, and I still want it.
Does everybody in the locker room love it though?
No, not everybody. I've had some guys tell me that starters was like, yeah, I really don't love football. I'm just good at it.
And this is my thing though, Vince, because this what angers me about the fucking Cowboys or just anybody in sports. Like, I'm super competitive. I play my mom in spades. I'm trying to beat her. If I lose, I'm mad as shit. So I be looking at games like, when we lose, it be people dapping people up, laughing, and like, I'm like, man, you just fucking lost in the playoff. I lost money, so I want to break my fucking TV. Like, you don't give a fuck you lost. And I was looking at either Richard Sherman or somebody that, like, they say a lot of people in the locker room is just like, man, I'm trying to get to vacation this summer. Like, they don't give a fuck about winning the ring. They don't give a fuck about get a couple dollars.
Depends on the guys, man.
For real. So really, everybody's not that competitive in the locker room?
Not everybody. I mean, like, they are when they need to be, but if it's like once the work is done, they like, all right, cool. Where we at? Vegas?
For real.
Flight booked. I know some guys flight booked for the week over, bro. I mean, it just depends on the person, bro. You never know what people's motivation is, bro.
Jersey swap shit. When you lose, I'm not swapping my jersey. I don't even want to look at no fucking body, man. I mean, I was a bad loser though, Vince. I ain't like losing. I do understand. Man.
Me either. I didn't like losing either. At first, I was like that, but after a while, it's like, you see guys that's either from your school or from your area. That's usually what that is. Or sometimes it's just a respect thing.
Okay.
Like, I'm like Travis Kelce and Kittle trading jerseys, like two of the best. Like, bro, it's a respect thing.
Yeah.
But sometimes, a lot of times, it's just like, yo, they from the same area, from the same city. Like, if I seen Roy or something, you'd be like, yo, like, we did that. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Or like, it's just same school, same city. It's usually some kind of tie there that we might not be aware of.
I'm glad you broke that shit down.
Yeah.
I don't be liking that shit.
Yeah, like, outside looking at you, like, what type of, like, they just
what y'all going on, man?
But it's still, like you said, it's kind of like, when you got that mutual, y'all achieve that dream, it's like you can meet together on that common ground after the game.
What's your and we're gonna move on from the NFL. What's like your worst like fight you seen at a practice? Cause I mean, I see it all the time when they do like hard knocks. I be like, damn, they were fighting. But the Washington one was the worst one when Westbrook was beating up the receiver. I can't remember the receiver name.
DeAndre Hopkins?
I can't remember who it was, but might have been. But I see the fights. What's the worst fight you seen at like a practice? And did you ever get in fights with anybody?
I got in a fight every single training camp my first 3 years in the league.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
You was just on that type of time with everybody.
I mean, bro, it's kind of like, I wasn't scared. I'm going, like, I might mess up, but I'm going to at least give you some, I'm going to hit you. Like, we're going to feel it. You know what I mean? We're going to go. But it's just a combination of, it's hot as hell. We've been in these pads for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. Mm-hmm. You tired. I'm tired of looking at y'all. You tired of looking at me. And it's just like, sometimes when you on a run play and you give a guy that extra little and they give you something back because he a dog too.
And then you got to keep going.
Start nothing. It's just kind of just pop off. But it's just part of it. But I've seen a couple brawls. When I was in Denver, we got into a whole brawl with, I believe it was the Texans. So that popped off. I can't remember what, DJ Swanger. That's why it happened. It was because of him. But yeah, that popped off. And then I remember when I was in Cleveland, it wasn't us. It was on the other side of the field. They got into a brawl. The skill players got into a brawl with Buffalo because we was practicing out there with them.
Okay.
And then Miami, I started another fight because it looked like they was about to jump my fellow lineman, my teammate, who actually just happened to be my roommate too in training camp. So he went through a rep, and then they was about to get into it, and him and the guy he was going against was like getting into it, but then I seen like 2 or 3 more D linemen getting ready to come in there. So I just jetted from, like, we stand over here watching one-on-ones, I already went. And I seen that pop off, so I jetted from where I was at and hauled ass over there and just took out one of the D linemen. Like, I was gonna have my dog back, you know what I'm saying? We roommates and we teammates. Like, I actually rocked with bro. So I went, I'm gonna have my boy back. So I went out there and rocked whoever it was, one of them D tackles, and had him on the ground. And everybody piled on the back of me. And then I felt somebody yanking my damn helmet, pulling me from underneath the pile, snatched my helmet off, 10 straps still strapped. Snatched my helmet off. I look and I'm reaching, like trying to grab the nigga legs. I'm thinking in my mind, I'm about to grab his legs, like tuck this nigga and go to work. And then he got out of there, he ripped my helmet off, and I looked up, and this goddamn Sue.
Come on, man.
And as soon as this the $100 million man, I'm like, oh shit, I'm reaching that $100 million legs. I need to stop this before I get cut. And then he was cussing my ass out. He's like, what the fuck you doing, buddy? Trying to grab my goddamn legs.
They said he wild, man.
I mean, he just go hard. He just practice hard. Yeah, he ain't no like asshole 24/7.
But he ain't going light in no reps.
No.
Every rep he going.
Yeah, he going.
I feel it.
I mean, that's how you get to that level though. You got to do that. You know what I mean?
Feel you.
But yeah, bro, I think Miami was my last. I didn't get in a fight in Washington, and Arizona I almost did, but it was one of my boys, and he was trying to start it, and I kind of just was like, hey, bro, like, nah,
just
I don't even want to do that to you. Like, nah, we ain't doing that. Plus, Wilkes didn't like people fighting in practice anyway, so.
Steve Wilkes, he had, he 49ers right now.
Yep.
I thought he had a good game plan, man. I tell people, and I was going to make a video about Shanahan, man. I think he kind of blew the game. And I know they probably going to try to put it on Steve Wilkes, but to hold Patrick Mahomes to what he did the first half, and y'all stopped running the football, you got pass happy in it, but that's a whole nother story.
That's just sort of amazing what they did in that first half. I really thought the 49ers was going to take it.
I mean, and he lit a fire in they ass leading up to the end. Like, look, y'all effort in the championship game was some shit.
Ooh.
We ain't going to the Super Bowl with that, and you could tell Chase Young, Hargrave, and all of them boys was really like, yeah, we got to get it done for him. So, you was telling me earlier, towards the end of your career, you started making connections. Because now, let's move into entrepreneurship. But when did you really just realize, I'm about football done. I got to move on to the next part of my life. When was that? Was it a situation? Was somebody said something to you? What was that?
I mean, really, it was just, experience in the league and understanding how the game go. Going into that last year, I knew, the Cardinals was probably close to being my last stop. I was out of practice squad eligibility, so there was no chance of that. So I knew it was make or break, make the roster, or I'm going home.
Yeah.
So going to that last year, I kind of just knew that, if I got cut, it was probably going to be close to the last time, if not the last one before the last one.
Okay.
So I got introduced to so the way that worked out was the guy that I was cool with, copping from when I was with Washington, introduced me to my partner now, Seth Erlin. He hit me up one day. I was back home in Northern Virginia. I was living in Northern Virginia. I was at home at an Oscar Smith basketball game.
Okay.
Because one of my boys was cool, one of the kids, so I was watching them, give them tips, whatever. Called me while I was at the game, was like, yo, got this Jewish cat, former chef, getting ready to open a dispensary, opportunity if you want to get into it, da-da-da-da-da. And it was ironic because when I got drafted to Denver, the following January after I got drafted was when they went recreational. I was there when they went recreational day one in Denver.
So you seen where the world was gonna be in a little bit. Because I heard out there, it's movies, you go in movies, it's restaurants.
It's crazy now, bro. And it started off, when they first started, I think it was like 14 or 16 stores that had opened. And me and my partner, we left practice, changed out our Broncos gear, went down to downtown Denver. And bro, when I lie to you not, bro, the lines, then that's what changed my perspective on weed. That's what really made me realize what it really was.
Yeah.
And it wasn't what everybody thought it was. Because one, the line was out the door, down the block or two, and around the corner. And when I tell you, bro, I looked at the line, it was black people, white people, Hispanic people, young people, old people. Bro, I seen a lady in a wheelchair with an oxygen tank attached to her junk, sitting in line waiting to go buy some weed, bro. So I'm like, that told me right there, everybody smoke. So just seeing that and, picking brains of guys that own dispensaries. I knew one guy in Denver that owned a dispensary. I knew a guy in Arizona that owned a dispensary, picking their brains and all that jazz. And then I got that call January 2018. He said, yo, I want to introduce you to Buddy, bring you out here to see the spot. So I told him I'd be back in Ashburn, moving out a couple days, whatever. Called him, he came pick me up, brought me out to the White Plains location, dispensary now. There was no product in there. It was just a building, it was finished, they finished renovating and all that. Met Seth, he gave me the pitch deck, told me the whole plan. And I saw the location of where it was because anybody's familiar with Maryland, Southern Maryland, it sits right on the edge of 301. It's the first dispensary you hit coming from Virginia, and it's the one of 4 or 5 in that county, I believe. So I saw it, I saw the store, I saw the layout, and I was listening to him give me the pitch deck, and I saw the location. And all I could think about was Denver when they were recreational. I'm like, when it goes recreational here, this place should pop off. Okay. Which it is. Our first recreational was crazy, bro. That whole first month was stupid. That first week was nuts. Yeah. But so yeah, I met him, gave me the deck, pitch, I left, I bought him the check the following week. Right,
so you didn't really have to think about it much.
There was nothing to think about.
Oh yeah.
He told me the amount for the invest, and it was cheaper than what I was being told it would cost to invest into one of those businesses. Okay. So I was like, yeah, cool. Went in, and I knew I needed to do, in my mind, I knew I needed to have something to fall back on, or at least something that's building. Like, that wasn't really, pay and get paid off. We got some distributions, but it was more so like investing in a stock. Okay. I'm putting this money here so it can grow over time. When that boom recreational comes, you cash out later when you finally sell the business or whatever the case may be. Yeah. So it was just something I knew I needed something in my back pocket for just in case football didn't work out. So I did that January, and then I left for my final offseason with the Cardinals. Went through that whole offseason, trained in Arizona. I was playing there, so I didn't have to go far. It was time to report. Went through that training camp, and I knew, unfortunately, I was running with 2s and 3s. Got some reps with the 1s, but primarily 2s and 3s, all training camp. Taking a lot of the reps, and then I knew I was getting cut after the first 2 preseason games. Okay. Why? I don't know, but I wasn't playing. They wasn't playing me. I don't know who I pissed off, who told I stepped on. Because I went into that training camp with the mindset of I gotta dominate. I gotta move people. I gotta really go hard and kind of really kick ass a little bit, which I was doing. I felt like learned the playbook, got in there, and I was really trying to go hard every single day and making sure I'm giving everything I had. And come game 1, I'm ready. I'm charged up. I know when I hit this grass, I'm trying to kill somebody. Cause I'm trying to lock in this spot, and it didn't play me. Until the last 2 or 3 plays of the game. I tried to come off, show a little something, and be like, yo, I need you out there. Time go by, I'm pissed. I'm pissed. I stormed out of the goddamn locker room. I was pissed, bro. I just went home, smoked, and tried to calm myself down. And then a couple days went by. My O-line coach called me yo, Peyton, I'm sorry, man, I meant to get you in there more, next game I got you. We played the Saints, the second preseason game. Still don't get into the last 2 plays of the game. So I was at this point, I'm all right, I see it right on the wall. I know what time it is. I know if I don't play, I'm hitting the market with no resume. For sure. So I'm not getting picked up. Yeah. So 3rd game rolled around, that's when it started the majority play, so I knew I wasn't playing in that game. And the 4th game rolled around, which is when no starters are playing, it's supposed to be backups. Everybody just to try to see who. Exactly, and they still didn't put me in until the last little bit of the game. So I'm like, yeah, y'all, I don't know what I did, but it is what it is. Yeah. So, yeah, bro, I knew what time it was, and I knew I was getting cut when that day came. They cut me, and when I knew hitting the market with no resume, I knew I wasn't getting picked up. So it was kind of I was glad I did what I did. I sat around training that whole, I ain't gonna say I sat around, but I trained that whole that whole fall. I stayed in Arizona for like a month.
Okay.
And then I was like, I ain't got no income, so I can't keep staying here paying rent.
For sure.
What I got saved up is getting chipped away at, and I just made that investment in the company. So that kind of cut my savings basically in half. So I had to make a move. I left Arizona, drove back to the VA. Drove back to the
That's
VA.
what I'm about to say. God damn. God damn.
But I couldn't, I knew in my mind I didn't need to pay for the ship it. I didn't need to pay for no flight. I had to try and save what I could. I knew the situation, you know what I'm saying? So I tried to cut costs where I could and just drove. Plus it gave me time, you know, clear my mind, see a couple people along the way. Whatnot. My god brother was staying in Georgia at the time, so I stopped, spent some time with him, then came on up. But yeah, bro, I was just training that off that fall, and then I started, you know, messing around at the dispensary. That we had an owners meeting that December, and my partner was like, "Yo, what you doing?" And I was like, "I'm just training, bro." He said, "Well, you ever interested in getting in the industry? I got a spot for you here if you want it." Took it. I needed to do something, just kind of, you know, move, stay busy, get my mind off of it. And then I had a tryout with the Lions. That next, I want to say it was right before training camp, so that summer. They didn't pick me up, and that was it, bro. It was a wrap after that. I tried Canada. I was getting ready to go to Canada, but like I said, it just
won't. So, entrepreneurship, getting into the cannabis industry. So when did y'all open this one up? This location, yeah.
This one we opened last July. This just opened last July.
How hard is it? Because I mean, I hear you got to go through loops and loops and loops and loops. And I did hear you say you got a Jew. It's good to have a Jew with y'all. They get doors opened up.
Man,
but I heard it's a difficult process, even when, like, even all the owners that's involved got to kind of be all in one. But when did y'all open this spot up?
We opened this spot up right like a week before, a week after recreational started.
Do y'all grow y'all own, or y'all kind of
flower?
Yeah.
Nah, we don't have a grow. We have a processing lab though, where we can make vape carts, all the waxes, shatters, butters, sugars, all the concentrates. We can make. We get ready to start making edibles in a little while.
Okay.
Which the public can buy edibles 10 milligrams.
Okay.
Can't buy the super high ones, but we do have the lab, and then we have this store and 4 more locations in West Virginia.
So, is it like a process y'all got to go to before y'all start growing y'all own, or is it just so much easier not to do that and kind of just know what's good and buy that and have it in your store?
So as far as growing, you got to apply for the license and actually get awarded it by the state.
Oh, wow.
Which they only, so they open it up every couple of years or so and say, we're going to award 6 licenses, or we're going to give away 10 licenses. And you apply for one of those licenses, and you kind of just paying, you know, to apply and whatnot. You're paying the fees, and you got to fit a certain criteria what they're looking for to award the license. But at the same time, you got to keep in mind you're fighting with these other bigger, like we're a small privately owned company, like 15 board members roughly, investors.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Some that some people know. And you fighting against these bigger companies, these MSOs, multi-state operators with all this money behind them, you know, like the Budweisers of the cannabis industry type deal. So, and they have certain lobbyists and connections and stuff.
They can bump them straight to the front. Wow.
Exactly.
So it's politics.
Yeah, it's competitive. Game. It's still a competition, bro. It's still competitive.
But I would think that, you know, weed is so accepted now, which, you know, like you were saying, growing up, I mean, my grandma used to call it dope. And I used to be like,
devil's lettuce.
She was like, out there just. And now that we're older and understand the health benefits from it, it's like, it wasn't that bad at all. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, this has really been here for us to consume. Now, how the government kind of wiggled their way in to kind of get involved, but they knew, I mean, after a while, I mean, it's like...
They got to find a way to make their money off of it.
Yeah, I mean, but, you know, being in the cannabis, I ask everybody that's in the cannabis industry, how old did your child got to be before they can smoke weed?
I'd probably say 21. Same age as drinking.
Okay, okay.
But, you know, it's I'd rather my kid pick up a J before they pick up a drink. You know
Oh,
what I'm
for
saying?
sure. I've never heard nobody say, I killed nobody behind the wheel.
Exactly. That's the point I always make. You know, even when I first got into it, my mom was kind of like, I ain't seen you to college and just that dirty, drug dealing and all that. But I'm like, and I had to think about it. I'm like, but, if you really think about it.
Oh, wow. So getting into business, she seen you as like a drug dealer initially?
Yeah, basically. It's kind of,
Wow.
she was like, kind of like, you just selling weed, this, that, and third. But I was like, but if you think about it, I said, let's say I walked in here and I told you I was opening a liquor store.
Yeah.
You'll be all about it. And she was like, yeah, you see some of my family members out in there. And I was like, exactly. I said, but I can sell this person this fifth of liquor. They can go stand on the sidewalk, knock half of it back, hop behind their car, and be wrapped around a tree in 30 minutes.
For sure.
I can sell this person 2 of these J's. They might smoking on that sidewalk, sit in their car. Worst case scenario, they go to sleep right there in the parking lot. Or they might eat a big ass bag of chips they didn't plan on eating, but you ain't got to worry about them.
Damn.
Going do no crazy stuff. It's just, she ain't the only one. I ran into a lot of people that's got that stigma on weed.
For
man.
real?
Yeah, man, it's odd. And I'm like, you don't mind this person sitting next to you having a drink, knowing that they either gonna get mad belligerent, out of control. There's a lot of things that can happen when you start drinking, alcohol get involved.
And it's just so much research out there now that, and being that I still coach high school, when I was coaching y'all, I probably would have been more like, man, y'all need to stay away from that shit. But knowing how many mental issues kids have, knowing the toll that football takes on people. Now, I tell people I played in the era where concussions, we never,
Yeah,
man,
you didn't know what a concussion was.
Man, come on, man. I tell people I played a college game, swear to God, Vincent, I'm on kickoff return. I'm the back man, but they kicked away from me, so now I got to get into the wedge. I get into a wedge, first gunner down, smack me. You can see me on film. We was watching film this Monday. My mouthpiece fly out. I do like a 360.
God.
Knock me off the joint, so I'm stumbling to the sideline. As soon as I get to the sideline, I'm like, fuck, I need a trash can. My stomach instantly I had to throw up.
Concussion.
I threw up. I ain't know what the fuck was going on. I threw up. I'm like, God damn. I got a headache, but I'm used to headaches.
Yeah.
I literally, man, I used to play red leaf. I ain't have a headache when I left practice. I ain't feel like I was hitting niggas hard.
You ain't doing nothing. Yeah, that was part of the game back then.
So offense was going on, because I played offense starting at receiver my first year. Coach was like, you good? I'm like, yeah,
I'm straight.
I'm straight. I guess I was a little dizzy. I just threw up. Coach, I'm good. Went right back on the field, Vince. So at the time, I didn't kind of know, and in college, I never really smoked. My brother smoked my whole life.
Yeah.
Here and there I smoked. I just didn't, weed didn't make me feel too comfortable. So I was drinking, like I was having headaches, drinking until I was passing out, drinking till I passing out. And then after a while, I'm like, I wake up with hangovers. Just something ain't right. Like, this can't be real. So just knowing what it does for athletes mentally and physically, I'm not as hard on kids as I used to be. Okay. Like, I had an 18-year-old athlete. I'm not gonna say girl or guy, because then people will probably know who it is, that they having mental issues, so they need it. I stay out the way of it, Vince. I'm like, listen, if your parents, okay, whatever you need to mentally be, it's good with me.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's curing you. So I just got a whole different mindset about weed now. I really think and I've been doing research on, like, they even say pregnant women can smoke weed still.
Yeah, there was some at the shop that, did their thing or whatever, just because for the pain.
Listen, they say it's no adverse things on it. So I'm kind of glad that weed is more accepted, especially for athletes, for black people. We go through so much trauma and shit.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's a lot better than taking a bunch of pills, because you take them pills and it's supposed to be fixing this, but it's messing up something else.
I seen that movie Dope Sick, and the one with Oxycontin, how that fucking had people.
On Netflix? Man.
Yeah,
I just watched that too.
I was like, man.
It was like being addicted to heroin.
Yeah, man. And I was like, that's crazy. So I'm glad that weed is not addictive. I don't care what nobody say.
It's not.
It's not addictive at all.
Put it down at the drop of a dime. We had to in the league, because the way the piss test worked was people still blown when I tell them how that worked.
But they say now you can kind of smoke. They can't suspend you. Is it in NFL or NBA? It might be NBA.
The NFL, they lowered the levels. In the NBA, I don't think they bother with but NFL, they lowered the levels. Even before that, bruh, like, it really was kind of hard for you to fail the piss test, because they give you the cheat code at the rookie symposium.
For real?
Bro, they tell you we're piss testing you. They piss test you once a year for weed. All you just pass that one piss test. It's and they give you the window. It's from April 20th to August 9th.
So Josh Gordon just was being a dickhead.
He was already in the program. If you're in the program, they piss test you every week. So if you're in the program, you shouldn't smoke. But, you know, some people still think they can finesse it. It's college and just that. Nah, bro, like they will come find, bro, I had one dude one time I had a piss test. I'm driving back to, I was playing in Cleveland at this time. I'm driving back. He called me. He's like, yo, you scheduled for a piss test? They used to piss test you off season. So he was like, you scheduled for a piss test? So where you at? I was like, well, I'm driving on my way back to Cleveland. He said, okay, like where are you at on your drive? I was
Come
like,
on, man.
I told him the highway I was on or whatever. He said, all right, I want you to he said, let me call you back in 5 minutes. He called me back and said, I want you to get off of this exit. I'm gonna meet you at this hotel. He met me in the hotel off the exit.
Come on, man.
And I did the piss test in the hotel bathroom, bro. I promise you. You could be overseas and they will have somebody overseas.
To come find you.
Yeah, bro. But yeah, bro. Yeah. yeah, bro. And that was for the steroid. That wasn't for the weed one. That was for the steroid jump, I think.
Okay.
But that was kind of odd. But the weed one, even more so than that, you know you getting it during mini camp. When there's a round during, it's only during the mandatory stuff. So it's a round during mini camp, and then there's around 2 rounds, or the rest of the rounds during training camp. I want to say there might be one during OTAs. I want to say there's one during OTAs, one during mini camp, and then they do the rest during training camp. So you know when it's coming. All you gotta do is be clean until you get it. And once you get it, you good until the following year. That's why I was like, I never understood how people fail. I mean, but if you get in trouble for alcohol, you end up in the program. And
you gotta get every week, yeah. So where do you see? Because now you say y'all got 2, and you was telling me y'all about to open a dispensary on West Virginia's college campus.
Yeah, bro.
I mean, all I hear is money fucking going in my area. It's ching ching, I just keep hearing that. So after that third one, what's the growth like after that one? Where do y'all actually see, because it's called Chesapeake
Apothecary.
Where do y'all see, let's say 5 years from now, 10 years from now?
Shoot, man, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 10 years, we might be looking to sell the licenses and just, walk away and be like, hey, we did it. But 5 years, probably, hopefully this store is booming as much as the last one.
Okay.
If Lord, God forbid, we can get another one at some point in time, acquire another license. We really need the lab to kind of, get going and whatnot. We're kind of hoping Maryland opens up concentrates to the public, because that's what we kind of need for the lab to really kick off. So hoping that's a thing. And I'm trying to put a couple of things together outside of the business, hopefully.
So, and like you say, y'all gonna sell maybe 10 years from now, y'all blow up. So what's next after that for you? Like, are you getting involved in other shit? Because, I mean, you went to school for, like, real estate. So what's next after this? Or even while doing this? Because you got kids. 3 kids, you said. You got 2 daughters and a son?
Girls, yep.
Okay, so what's next after this going down?
I mean, so personally, I'm there's a couple things I'm trying to get into right now. Right now, I'm trying to put together, I don't want to get too many details, but I'm trying to put together a decent little gaming tournament. Okay. Kind of get that going, make it a little vibe, like an adult type, deal.
So you play? Oh, yeah. What you play? All games?
I got PS and the Xbox. I be on Madden, 2K, Duty, be on God of War and all that. Yeah, bro, I be on that. They keep me in the house, bro, and out of trouble. Like,
do you stream much or?
So my little brother and my nephew is talking to me like, bro, you need to utilize it. If you're gonna play, go ahead and start streaming and getting it going. So I'm trying to get it going a little bit, which is the other part of why I'm trying to, get this game tournament going with my boy that you seen when you came in. Me and him putting it together. So we trying to get that rolling a little bit. Got a little different twist to it. I don't want I'll drop it.
If it's a Madden one, I get me in it. I can't play nothing else, but I play Madden.
It's 4. We doing Madden, 2K, Tekken, and Smash Bros.
Okay, yeah, I don't play none of them other ones, but I've been playing Madden since I've been playing Madden since '96, and it don't matter if I don't play for a year, 6 months. I'm whooping ass when I step on it.
That's true.
My nephew thought he was going to beat me. I swear to God, Vince, I beat this. I mean, he was mad, crying. He 11. I'm like, bro, I've been playing this game before you came out your mama pussy, boy. You think I told him you can pick my team. He picked my team.
Yeah.
Man, I had his ass like 21-0 like in the first quarter. He was so, and I played him all the way to the end. I beat him like 80-6.
God, come on,
And
you could have cut it off for like 40.
I told you I'm competitive, and I had to prove a point. I wanted to. Jim Flowers used to tell me all the time, you kill an ant with a sledgehammer.
That's
so
right.
I told him, I want to dog your little ass because you thought you could beat me. So,
but yeah,
okay.
I'm trying to get that cracking. And then I found myself lately, I love working out.
Okay.
And I'm in the process of cutting weight right now. When I finished, I was 325. Got down to 290, chilled for a little bit. I cut it down. Since then, I'm down to like 280 now.
Okay.
So I want to get down to like 260. And then in lieu of that, while I started posting my workouts and stuff, I got a couple guys from work that like, yo, can I come work out with you? And this, that, and the third.
Okay.
And for the last week, I've been bringing them with me, and they just keep showing up, and they love it. My lady asked me to go in there with her. She wanted to go with me, so I bought her, and she loved it. So I'm kind of starting to get into it.
Man, I'd be like, man, I can't work out with this dude, man.
Nah, see, I ain't gonna come in there. I ain't gonna come in there and put the weight of the world on your back.
Okay,
I'm gonna meet you where you at. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Because I understand, like, if I try and push you too hard, you gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
You know, that's a lot of things that I have heard people say through grapevine. People that I know that train people, they say you go in there and they get taught the frame, and then they don't want to come back.
Yeah.
So I take my time. I try to meet the person where they at, whatever. So it's kind of sparking that idea and that juice for get into the training field. So I kind of see myself maybe going down that avenue a little bit too, because it's just something that I love to do, man.
Yeah,
I like working
you've
out
been
a lot.
an athlete since. I mean, God put you on this earth to be an athlete. Like I tell people all the time, people like you, Cam, and track athletes that I mean, that shit is just generational. Just God just said, yo, we gonna put him in sports, like just the size and all of that. So, man, listen, I appreciate this interview, Vincent, man. It was.
Appreciate you, bro.
I mean, it was, like I said, you lived the dream that all of us boys that play football, and sometimes people say, he ain't make a Pro Bowl. To make it to the NFL is the goal and the dream, and people will get a fucking left leg to say, I got drafted. You did it, man, so I commend you. You are a legend in our neighborhood, and it's crazy because the kids actually go to the weight room and see you, Roy, Cam up on the wall to know it's real. Like, I never knew nobody that made it to the NFL, like college. They won't come in. When I was in high school, when I was at Maury, because I'm a Maury graduate myself, never knew nobody. So not only your story get these kids from where we come from, like motivation to say, man, Vince made it. I can make it. Cam made it. You up on the wall every fucking day. They like, man, nah, I gotta. So, that's commendable. You got kids. I'm pretty sure 10 years from now,
we'll see.
Your son gonna be class of 2038 or something, 4-star because you said he gonna be big.
We gonna see. That's my dog. He's something else.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it, man. Get an address to this your dispensaries that you want people to come through. This one is where?
This is this one is our Clinton location. It's at 9135 Piscataway Road, right off of the Woodyard exit. And our other location is 4781 Crane Highway out in White Plains, both here in Maryland.
Okay, and when the other one opening up in West Virginia, when is that going to open up in West Virginia, maybe? So
we just got our final inspection about a week and a half ago, past that. And my partner and myself are going up there. Well, he primarily bringing me because, like, I don't mind. I can rap with people, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I understand the college campus and whatnot, especially one like that. So we're going up there, do some recruiting, try and get some people some job opportunities because, it's
that's fire.
Exactly. It's like, it's nice to, obviously invest in the business and, go that route. But the biggest thing that we, take pride in is being able to get people, because it's hard to get into the industry, man, especially for,
for sure.
So we try to get
people to look like me and you.
You know what I'm saying? You get it. So it's like, we take pride in giving people opportunities where otherwise they might not have gotten.
That's
it's jobs. Sometimes in the economy it's tough to come across jobs.
That's
so,
fire. That's
yeah,
fire.
it's nice to be able to get some people some opportunity, especially going to a college campus and, you know, being able to get on some opportunities, man. And that's just kind of always been my thing, my driving factor, man. Even with, you know, going to the league and stuff, like, obviously, you know, breaking the bank and getting a second, third contract, getting M's and all that would have been nice. But that really wasn't my driving force. My driving force was, you know, just being a person, like you said, just to be able to show the youth, the youngins, that it's so much more to us than what we grew up with in Norfolk. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would just look at my family and balling with them and see their different talents. You got people that can cook like crazy. You got some of my other cousins I grew up with that was hoopers, just at the third, but fell prey to some of that madness. And it was just like, I'm happy if a kid somewhere, like you said, look at me and be like, damn, he made it, I can make it too.
For
sure. I mean? That's kind of the thing that always, you know, pushed me and drove me, and what pushes me now to keep going and to keep pursuing more. It's just like, I tell my brother all the time, even with his rap things, like, as other people did it, why not you? You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, it's just, I appreciate, you know, being blessed enough to be able to help and giving some people opportunities and give people jobs and, you know, give people hope. You know what I mean?
And, I mean, you got to think about it. Most football players got more life after football than they do playing football.
Yeah.
So, you know, I know you said you wish you could have made the millions. You gonna make it doing this shit here. So, you know, salute to that, man. Once again, I appreciate you coming on Henny and Fried Crabs. My guy, as soon as I hit him, he was like, yeah.
Absolutely.
Now now I gotta put the pressure on Cam, Roy. Y'all motherfuckers gotta come now. But I appreciate you, Vince, man. All good luck, man. God is good, man. Tell your moms, I didn't mean, but what I said came true, so.
She knows it's all love.
You
she
already
love y'all,
know.
Man.
Signing out.